everybody. Happy New Year from your two favorite buttheads.
Happy New Year's.
And we literally are coming off of our high from the night of 100 buttholes.
Yes, it was a big high. A big super high. And now the come down is like, it's pretty rough.
We both got a little drunk off of the double flusher that Licks came up with. We are so thankful for all of our performers and talent. It was a great night. And if you missed it, we are going to put it on the website for you to rent. So just click that button and rent it, and you can watch the ridiculousness.
You can relive all the fun stuff we did. Yeah. We had cocktails, we had live performances, we had pre-recorded performances, we had poems, we had an actual fisting seminar or demo. So you can get all that stuff if you rent it. If you missed it, which shame on you, but if you did miss it, you can rent it.
From some of our wonderful past guests and some future guests. And one of those future guests that's on it is this episode of Matt Roper, a.k.a. Wilfredo.
Oh, Mr. Wilfredo, actually the great Wilfredo, the ego of the very talented Mr. Matt Roper, who we had the pleasure of interviewing and which you'll be hearing today.
Yes, so technically we interviewed him before the night of 100 buttholes, but then the night happened before his interview that you're about to hear. So don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and tell all your friends about us. That really helps. And you can also email us or call us for any fabulous submissions. Plus, have you seen the new cartoon? We just premiered the Davina Grand Sparkle cartoon at the night of 100 buttholes, so you get to watch it.
Yes, don't miss it. Animated by Mr. Matthew Holtzclaw.
And if you rent Night of 100 buttholes, the raffle is done, but you can keep tipping those fantastic talents if you want to drop them some New Year cheer in their Venmos.
Yeah, all their Venmos are on there, so do the right thing. Tip your performers and your bartenders, even though they weren't there, but they're virtually going to accept your tips.
Exactly. So. I mean, you can tip Stormy Leather for the raffle, just know you won't win the prize. We'll just take the money and put it towards the podcast.
Yes. And if you have any funny stories, anything you want to talk about on the show, give us a call at 203-998-5579, or you can email us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you.
Yes. Happy New Year to you, all you buttheads out there, you fart stars. And here's Matt Roper.
Hey, Poopy, how you doing? Hey, Poopy, how you doing?
Oh, man, I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things, about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey, Poopy, how you doing? Hey, Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
And now, the Hey Poopy Podcast with Dave and Ellen.
We are back on this cold day in November.
Hey, yes. Hi, everybody. Except for this episode will be coming out in January. So
recorded in November, but you'll be hearing this in January, which I'm sure will be a cold day.
Probably. Hey, everybody. This is the Hey Poopy Podcast with
Dave
and Ellen, and this is episode 101. Can you believe it?
Pretty crazy. 101 of these things.
Milestone.
We broke the seal.
But it'll always be number 2 to us. I know, I need to start a new Google spreadsheet because it's getting so long. It's like really hard to get to the bottom. I need to split it up by year.
Yeah, make another tab.
Yeah.
It'll be like brand new.
I know. Who would have ever thought we got this far?
I know, it's crazy. Well, we're glad that we have a special guest with us today for our 101st episode, Mr. Matt Roper. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I really like the number 101 for some reason.
It's a good number, right?
We got a game show in England that it's not really. It's like a one-on-one kind of show with a comedian interviewing prominent people from British life, and it's called Room 101. People go in and they talk about the stuff they really hate.
Oh, I like this.
The audience decide whether or not it goes into Room 101.
Oh, okay.
disappears.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's very British, right? Let's all get together and talk about the stuff that we hate, you know.
So, Matt, before we go into who you are, we always like to check in with our guests and ask them, how have you been pooping recently?
You know, I came home about 40 minutes ago and I pooped straight away, and it's unusual for me to just walk in the door and start pooping. My body clock, I really don't have any sort of regularity to my body. You know, some nights I'll stay awake till 2, 3 in the morning and wake early. Some nights I'll have an early night. You know, I think the body thrives on regularity, and so there's not any particular time of the day that I poop, you know. Mm-hmm. I'm stressed, you know, it's very difficult for me to just wake up and go to the loo, you know. I'm all bunged up.
Of course.
Yeah.
I love that term, bunged up.
Oh, yeah. See, again, very British.
Yeah. I was once on a flight, when I was backpacking around Southeast Asia in the early 2000s, I was on a seat on an aeroplane flying from Calcutta to Bangkok. And a little old Indian lady was sitting beside me, and she was, I guess, like a celebrity chef on TV, some TV channel in India. And she was saying to me, you know, the best thing to get yourself moving in the morning is just a bowl of fresh fruit, followed by a strong coffee.
It's true.
And then it'll all come out, you know.
Just drop out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I smoke too, and that helps. You know, I shouldn't be saying that, but it kind of helps, really.
Smoking cigarettes?
Yeah, with a coffee, yeah.
That's classic right there.
It depends what I've got going on in the day, you know, what's going on for me psychologically and how relaxed I'm feeling, obviously, you know.
Yeah, of course.
What about you two? How was your you know, in England we call it poo.
Poo?
Yeah, poo. No P on the end. But I'm obviously used to saying poop here, otherwise I wouldn't be understood, you know?
In this show, you can call it whatever you want. The more creative, the better. I love them all.
Nice.
Who's nice?
I love that scene in Billy Madison when he says he called the shit poop, and I thought it always made me laugh. You can call it whatever you want. And this is a podcast. You can swear, you can do whatever.
Yeah,
well,
feel free.
Half my family are from Liverpool, you know, and in Liverpool it's quite common to say, I'm off to the loo, I'm going to lay a log. I like that. A log, you know. Yeah.
Well, Ellen, were you laying any logs today?
I did. I think I pooped twice today. As I said before, I'm a little sweepy. So I know that I had like a Bristol 3 earlier today, and it was a little hard. I was away for 4 days. I went to go, I know it's like COVID times, and when this comes out, God only knows how much deeper in this pandemic we'll get this winter. But I did that. That's why I did a rapid test last week to go visit my dad, because I haven't seen him since January. And we were staying with my dad and my stepmom's such a tight ass that I think she made me have a tight ass, and I was barely pinching off turds the first 3 days I was there, and I was like, oh my God, this is the worst. And then finally yesterday I was sitting doing work at my computer, and if Caroline, you're listening, our lovely guest from last year who told us about her rectal cancer, or as she likes to call it, ass cancer, Caroline, yes, that I was pooping when I was on the phone with you yesterday, and I was working on the computer talking to her, and I ran to the toilet and had like so much dump come out of me.
And you were on the phone. You stayed on the phone while you were chatting.
Ellen likes to multitask.
Yeah, I would mute her while things were splashing, like
very
mute
nice.
myself,
Yeah.
and then unmute. She might have heard a little like plop, plop, splash.
But that's all right. You're friends, right? You're friends.
Yeah, I mean, she's been on the podcast. We talk about poop all the time.
Yeah, she's well versed in Ellen's ass.
I just don't like. I don't know if I'm necessarily, unless I'm on FaceTime, I don't like admitting that I'm pooping right then and there. There's only one friend of mine that I will FaceTime with and just walk into the bathroom. Like, you're pooping, aren't you? I'm like,
I don't think I've ever done that.
Get off the phone with me. I was like, nah, it's okay.
Well, we're hopefully soon you'll be less stressed and then we'll get back to that regular pooping schedule.
Yeah.
To get back to your epic 12 inches.
What about your poops, David?
Oh, mine. I took 3 shits today.
Oh, well done. Apparently, we're meant to poop 3-4 times a day, right? I heard that. Somebody told me 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah, that's pretty normal. It should be normal. That should be like the sort of the norm. But I had to. I'm sorry. What did you say?
No, I was just saying you should poop as much as you eat.
Yeah.
You know?
So I've pooped 3 times today. Today was I ran this morning, so usually my run days I get like, I already know I'm gonna shit in the morning just because it's nerve wracking. It's like the first cold day that I went for a run, which actually wasn't even that cold, but whatever. I had a good run, but that's not even the big. My shits were like not that great today, by the way. Also, they were kind of like very loose. I haven't been taking my papaya enzyme, so I'm back to my just like 5. As the day, they get worse as the day goes on. So I would say starts around a 5 and then ends with like a 5.5, 6.
Dude, you gotta get that papaya.
I know.
Put it on your desk.
It's sitting. I have it in our kitchen. So I'm like, okay, as soon as I'm done eating, bam, it's gonna grab this when I bring the bowls back in. I always forget, but I was on a really good run there.
Your desk. So
I know.
You're at your computer.
Oh,
and
dude,
you look down and
if you saw my desk right now, I wouldn't even know it was there. I'd be like, what's this? It's like got papers all over it. I have to put it like literally tape it to my neck or around my neck.
Have yourself like a feeding trough thing.
Totally, yes.
You know?
It's just like some kind of like timed elapsed thing that shoots out of the wall into my face. But that's actually the big story.
Like in a Pez dispenser.
Yeah,
so it's cute and fun
or something. Well, the big news actually is, I mean, it's just kind of a late check-in, but thanks to my wife jogging my memory, I forgot what episode we did. We were talking about shitting your pants. We talk about shitting your pants all the time, but I had a serious like moment of, oh my god, I completely forgot about that moment. My wife brought up camping and Montauk with us like a couple weeks ago. And she was like, yeah, remember the time we went camping and you had that accident? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, on the way to the, I'm like, it just like, it was like a movie. Everything flashed back and like, it was all like fast forward. I remember like every single element of it. And I'm like, holy shit, I must have just pushed that down. So to back up, I had gone on this little camping trip with my wife on our motorcycle. We went out to Montauk. It was beautiful. We're right in the beach. Amazing. And then, of course, I don't fuck with camping that much. I'm not a big camper, but she loves it, so we go. And then, middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning, she's like, hey, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, go to the bathroom. She's like, can you come with me? And I was like, oh my God, here we go. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go with you. And then as I'm getting up, my stomach started like just getting a little crazy. So then I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll just go with you. I gotta take a shit now, apparently. So now I'm out of the camp. It's like all dewy, everything's wet, and I'm just sitting there in these weird like my motorcycle boots, and I'm like just like with a pair of shorts on, and it's like with a headlamp, mind you. This is what it looks like. I have a pair of shorts on. It's ridiculous. And we have to walk to the bathroom, which is about like, I don't know, 2-3 minutes away. And I'm like, are you almost ready here? Can we go? She's like, I'm just trying to find this one thing. She's fucking around. She's like, but I can't leave by myself because she wants me to walk her to the bathroom. So I wait. So as I'm waiting, I shit my pants. I mean, like I'm like, hey, real quick, you know, I really gotta go. And as I'm saying that, it just all like came out. I mean, there was like no control. There was no like, I mean, I was holding a little bit, and all of a sudden, just like totally freaked, just completely expelled into my shorts. At like 2 in the morning.
Wait. Okay, I need more detail.
Okay, please.
Also, I cannot believe we're at episode 101 and you've been holding back.
I'm not holding back. I forgot about it.
Same thing.
No, you were acting as if I was sitting. I'm not going to tell Ellen this.
You have been. I know.
If you want to split hairs, I guess mentally I had it so deep. When she told me, I literally was like, oh my! I had like one of those moments. I'm like, holy shit! I completely forgot about that.
You'd forgotten about it.
I completely forgot about it.
A couple episodes ago, he said something to one of our guests about like, well, I've shit my pants like 3 times. I was like, the 3 times? I only know one time on this show. Where are these other 2 times? And he's like, well, he's like naming them off, but they're not really coming. And I was like, this one, holding back on me.
This one, I am not holding back. I forgot. I'm telling you now. I mean, if I was holding back, I wouldn't say shit. No pun
2
intended.
years later.
Anyway, I wish I had one of those exclusive, like,
but then after that, I mean, what I mean was not.
I had to walk with my shitty
flashlights.
I had a headlamp on. I didn't have a flashlight. I had a little shitty headlamp on, and I mean, my wife was kind of laughing. I mean, it was because she's like, "Oh my god!"
Definitely should be laughing.
She was angry.
Okay, I want to know what you ate. I want to know if you did not wake up to go pee with her. Were you guys like asleep and she woke up?
Yeah, she was asleep.
You ended up shitting the fucking sleeping bag.
No, I think just me getting up and everything jostled for a minute was like, because I was also not on my regular shitting schedule because like I'm like I don't want to get out of this tent, then go walk to the bathroom and take a shit. So anything like I think mentally I was kind of like, you know what, I'll just go and wake up in the morning, and it just kind of like, you know, everything got all jostled. And I mean,
what did you eat?
Oh, we went into town and like went to some like restaurant, had like probably like a steak dinner or something like that.
And you were like camping in a tent.
In a 2-person tent.
How did you clean up said mess?
Oh no, I was already out. Sorry, I was already out of the tent. I'm getting to that in a second. I was already out of the tent waiting for her. So she woke me up to bring her to the bathroom. So now I'm just standing outside the tent going like, let's go. I gotta go. And then like it just happened.
And your shorts was dripping down your leg?
Luckily it did not, but it was like close to. I mean, it was a pile. And I remember being like, this is so I was so angry. And she's like kind of like, I could tell she's probably like, I know you're really mad at me right now, but it's kind of funny. I mean, she wasn't like saying that, but I could tell. So I walk the walk of shame to this public bathroom. Now when you get there, it's all lit up. I mean, it's like, and then I'm thinking there's no one going to be in there because no one has been in there for the past 2 days. And then of course I go in there, there's like these 2 kids hanging out. I'm like, are you fucking serious? So I had to go, there's a shower in there. I had to go take a shower. Clean my shitty underwear out. Of
course.
And then at that point I was just so upset that I didn't have time to go jump back in the tent to go look for something else. So I had to like wash them off. And then just luckily they were bathing. I think they had like bathing trunks on or something like that. They weren't underwear. They were some kind of short like night shorts I was wearing. So I just like basically just washed them out, scrubbed them. I was in the bathroom for so fucking long, and I came out with like wet shorts on, and then just fucking walked back. And then
you probably had that like net that's in a bathing suit that like held the shit in.
And it did,
like
but they were small. They were like shorter shorts, like so they were like just like sleeping, like, you know. And it was a disaster. I was like so angry because I'm like, I already don't like camping, and then I just shit my pants. And now I'm walking back and I'm like, now I gotta walk all the way back. Then I get back in the tent. I'm not the most flexible person in a 2-person, so I had to go like clean, you know, like. And we had the rain fly over the tent, which is like this big like condom that goes over so it was like this whole thing. And it was all wet outside. It was just like a nightmare. And
oh my god!
Yeah, I got back and
it wet inside your pants.
Yeah, I did. It was wet. It was wet everywhere. It was. I think she might. The part I can't remember is she might have gone back and got me a pair or a towel or something. But like either way.
Also, your wife has been on this podcast and she didn't tell this story.
No, she's got the worst memory.
She knows that we record this show and she didn't think to remind you of it.
If you think I've got I think I have a decent memory, probably not, but she's got the worst memory. So like that wouldn't have definitely happened. So anyway, I just wanted to let everybody know I have shit my pants more than once. And it was a bad one. It was just like, it was really bad. Like if I didn't have that bathroom, I don't know what I would have to go in the pitch black into the ocean. Like, I mean, you couldn't see. It was like you couldn't see your hand in front of your face, minus the headlamp. I would have been like, okay, I guess I gotta go walk into the water now.
There was no full moon there to add to the situation. Yeah, exactly.
Like in Montauk, and it was like just and the worst part was where our campsite was, or the section. Cars would come in because people have like these trailers and everything. So people would coming in from Montauk, like drinking and hanging out, and like the first thing you see was our little setup, and these headlights would just come over the tent. So I'm like, good thing no one fucking just came in and saw this.
Oh, yeah, you were lucky.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my epic check-in.
Finally, also I always have epic check-ins, and finally Dave has an epic one. He's always like, same shit as last week, different day, same shit.
Yeah, not this time. I mean, I was very excited. I mean, as much as I was like, holy shit, I was super excited because I knew Ellen's gonna be like, what? What?
2 years later, we've been doing this podcast for 2 years. I guess it was a cliffhanger.
Well, look, there's plenty of times I could possibly shoot myself again. So, who knows? Fingers crossed, right?
Well, there will be plenty of times.
Yeah, right. Hopefully not. I mean, Jesus Christ, at this point, as an adult, I should not be shitting my pants that much.
Oh, my God. Come on. In the 2 years we've been doing this podcast, how many disgusting things and weird shit have I done with my asshole? It's about time you get involved.
What can I say? Ellen's asshole's a star.
Yeah, we had a meeting with our executive producer this morning, and she was like, I'm sorry you have a perfect asshole. I was like, excuse me, if you listen to the podcast, my asshole is nowhere near perfect. It has trauma compared to one doctor.
It's an abandoned mine shaft. Oh, Ellen, I think we lost you for a second.
The laptop crashed.
Ellen's apartment, the power went out.
Oh no!
So Gerald's going downstairs to set the fuse box. There we go. Welcome back.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back to the show.
We're talking about hemorrhoids is what we're talking about.
Oh, I'm an expert on that too, with my terribly not perfect ass.
I was filling Matt in on your on the history of your.
We got the bowel cancer and hemorrhoids, and we got his bowel cancer check in there. We covered quite a bit while you were gone.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it.
It's okay, the hemorrhoid thing, I'm 43 now. I was got an arsehole like a chewed tangerine. But the hemorrhoids are not a pleasant thing to. I was so relieved when I found out that it was the hemorrhoid. I was just telling David that I woke up to blood, and that's always a bit scary.
Yeah. Matt, now that we know about your asshole, tell us more about yourself as a human being.
Yes, please.
So as you know, I'm a British export. I live here in New York. I moved here. It was recently my 5-year New York anniversary.
Oh, congratulations!
September 2015. Thank you. And I'm a performer. I do characters, and one character that everybody knows. It's Wilfredo. It's a burlesque MC, romantic singer, and I gig about a little bit, and I work a little bit people might know me from Alsatia's, which is a Marx Brothers musical. That's where the hemorrhoid happened, and then Jack and the Beanstalk I did with Matt Fraser and Julie Atlas Muse.
I love
excellent. That was great.
So great. Well, they are great. They're workhorses. They push us, but they're perfectionists, and they're brilliant. And I sing as well, a little dinner jazz with Jenny Lee Mitchell, who people on the burlesque scene might know as Muffy Styler, and gig about as an actor. I write a little bit too. I'm pretty open about my bum and my arsehole and problems regarding that sort of general area, really.
Well, welcome. People who are open with their assholes.
Well, I was just saying, I think it's important to be open about these sort of things, because it can help people,
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
The things that we've learned in this 101 episodes of this show has even just helped me. And I know it could help many more people.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard any stories where you've felt physically sick?
Oh, yeah.
From not pooping?
About pooping, people's pooping stories.
Oh, more Dave.
Yeah, I get more...
queasy.
Yeah.
Squeamish.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't bother me until, we had a dominatrix on. We always talk about this, but we had a dominatrix on, and she has this thing where she does, forced consumption. And consumption and shit, to me, that is just something I can't, I can't get down with that.
What do you mean consumption?
She has, people pay her to shit in their mouths.
And then she...
Oh, no. Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, exactly. It is horrible.
You asked, Matt.
Around the late 90s, I was reading an interview with a sex worker in London, and she said that the strangest request was a guy who would come and see her on a Friday night and would bring her a bag of cashew nuts or peanuts, I don't remember what, and pay her, and she would eat them that night, and he would come back the next day and collect her poop. And he'd want to eat the nuts, and that haunted me. I'm over it now, but I couldn't get that out of my imagination for
the only thing
months, years. Yeah.
The only thing that Dave said that was shocking on my face of all the things on this show that we've talked about thus far was the Museum of London has an actual piece of a fatberg under plexi, and
of a what?
A fatberg.
A fatberg.
It's like the remnants. It's like a giant coagulated ball of shit, oil, all the things that get stuck into a sewer system.
Baby wipes, tampons.
It turns into basically a boulder of all these disgusting elements.
It clogs up the sewer pipes, and they have to hack away out of it.
Actually, in England,
flushing shit that they shouldn't be flushing.
They have a big problem with this in London.
Horrible.
Yeah.
And what? This is behind a bit of glass in a museum.
Yeah.
So the Museum of London, they have a brick of it because they wanted to put it on display to show people this is what's in the sewer system that's bad. It's bad here in the United States, but it's supposedly worse there. And the thing started mutating and growing eggs.
Yeah, Ellen was losing her mind.
That is disgusting. Yeah.
It's really disgusting.
That was the one time where Dave was that was the one time Dave was like, I've never seen your face like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
I wish I had a screen grab of that. I'm more when I hear people talk about eating shit or putting it on them, I just I can't. I lose it.
Our next week's episode. Next week's episode, we got another dominatrix, but she likes to put things in butts and pull things out of butts. So it's going to be interesting.
Okay.
She has a butt plug that looks like a baby. And she shoves it in and has them birth it out.
Oh, okay. Just push it. Yeah.
Yeah. So stay tuned, people. Next week there'll be a lot of.
That is unbelievable, man.
In and out, in and out.
Oh my god!
I have been to a spa, a health spa on Koh Samui in Thailand.
That puts baby dildos up your ass?
Oh no. That's funny.
There's a little list. Here you go. Would you like?
It's like a cleansing spa where a bunch of people go to stay at this spa for a couple of weeks, and you fast for as long as you want actually, but 10 days is the recommended sort of time to do it, and you don't eat. You drink plenty of water. You can drink coconut water, and sometimes occasionally you can have juices, and you do the coffee enema in the morning and a coffee enema in the early evening, and after 4 or 5, 6 days of not eating, it's interesting. You can either choose to have a sort of colander thing. First of all, you lie on this
table, right?
board.
I read a really cool article about this in Details magazine years ago.
Right. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fascinating. And it's a weird sensation filling yourself up with this stuff. It's a combination of coffee and warm water, and I think cider vinegar. I don't know. You'd have to check. It's called Spa Samui, SAMUI, and you let it go, and if you want to choose to see what your body's letting go of and what's in the colander, which I did, of course, I was fascinated by it. I was actually a little bit disappointed that there wasn't anything more interesting. There was a journalist from The Guardian who went to write a piece about it maybe 15 years ago.
That's probably the article I read. It was so interesting what they were saying, one guy found a marble popped out.
That's the guy. That's the guy.
That's the guy. There you go.
He had this little thing in the porcelain, and it was the marble that he'd swallowed when he was,
like a kid,
11 years old or whatever.
But I say we get into some stories or questions.
We'll let you lead us, Matt. If you have another story, like your Koh Samui story, you can go into it, or I can go straight into some questions.
No, go straight into some questions. Spa Samui might come back into it though, because it's been a big shitting episode of my life.
Yeah, the questions might jog some stories. So, first question: what brand of toilet paper do you use, and do you put it on the roll over or under?
Oh, I don't really mind over or under, but probably under. Yeah, probably I'm not sure about brands. Just whatever, something soft, nothing smelly, nothing with nothing. I've had to wipe my ass with my hand before when I was traveling in Asia. We talked about Asia before, lots of pooping stories in Asia. I think the Western influence is kind of responsible for so much nonsense in the East.
A lot of extraneous extra stuff you don't really need.
Yeah, like in England and in this country, when the pandemic first began, all this panic buying toilet paper, you can just wash your ass out in the shower, What are you doing, people panicking about toilet paper? That drove me crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't I remember at school they had this cheap toilet paper in the loos, which was like tracing paper. Do you remember tracing paper?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It was like almost like stuff that you'd like put baking paper.
Yeah.
It was just horrible to wipe your ass with that.
Oh.
Yeah. So no preferred brand, not really. Just like stuff that tears nicely.
Excellent.
Isn't too rough across your ass.
And do you sit or stand to wipe your butt?
Sit. Always sit. Yeah. Or do some people stand to wipe their ass?
We have learned that.
We've had 2 guests, 2.5 that
to wipe their ass.
You
kind of need to be bent over though, no?
Yeah, some people lean, some people hover, but there's been a couple people who just
get up,
stand up,
which is insane.
Yeah, but your ass cheeks are in the way if you're going to do that.
Yeah,
you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah.
Questions.
These questions on everybody's mind.
Yeah. What is your first memory, Matt, as from poops and farts as a child?
You're gonna like this. In our house, me growing up, my mother hated the word fart. She thought it was on a par with a swear word. I don't know why. So we were encouraged to use the word Trump instead.
Trump? Are you kidding me?
R-U-M-P. Yeah.
That is genius.
Yeah. So I guess
this is in the 80s,
and this is at school as well. At school, why are you laughing at us? Somebody's just trumped you. So this is growing up in Thatcher's Britain. This is the 1980s. So I don't know if kids in England today still use the word Trump. But also at the time, that was around the time Donald Trump was kind of becoming a celebrity.
Yeah.
Well, so we sort of were laughing at him.
Well, I say we bring that back because he is a fart. He's a shit and a fart.
I actually kind of feel like that's insulting to fart.
Well, he's more of a hemorrhoid, you keep worrying he's going to keep coming back.
I do like how we've renamed Santorum. Not we, as in Dave and I, more Dan Savage did. So we could find maybe we need to do a competition to rename Trump as the most disgusting. So like how people Google Santorum, it comes up the frothy mixture of poop, cum, and lube from a butthole after anal sex. And that's after Rick Santorum, who is a literal piece of shit.
Agreed.
So, so maybe on Hey Poopy Podcast, if anybody else has some awesome thing we should recall it that's poop, fart, ass related.
I think that's a great idea. You can win some prizes. We have some really cool swaggy stuff that we've been working on. We have matches. We have stickers. We have all kinds of awesome things that you can do. And if you call our new hotline at 203-998-5579, you can leave those suggestions on that voicemail. We'll play it. So, do that.
That'll be our new gift to everybody and to ourselves for 2021.
Yeah.
Let's put Trump into a new definition.
We can do this, people. Let's put our minds together. We can think of the worst thing, and that's the new Trump.
Yes. Matt, what is your best cure for diarrhea or constipation?
Well, if I was traveling, I would probably carry Imodium. only if I was traveling, and if I say I was on a long train journey or a long bus journey or like whatever, a long haul flight, but I very much believe that, you know, that should only be used in those circumstances, because whatever needs to get out, you know.
I 100% agree.
So I was reading actually that in China and in India, 200 years ago, people would give opium to kids, parents would give opium to their kids.
Wow.
To cure diarrhea. I guess that's something we could look up. You should be looking it up now.
I mean, I would like to know that. That sounds awesome, just for like in general.
Yeah.
You got a headache? Here's try some opium.
Make you constipated, right?
I guess, yeah.
Like people who do opioids, they get very constipated. They say if you're taking a lot of painkillers, you have to take stool softeners too. So that makes sense.
I have stool softeners, but I think food. I mean, I don't know, like just stodgy food, right? Stodgy food.
Yeah.
Or just don't eat and just let it get out of your body. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? I'm interested. Or can we not talk about this now? Have I got to go back to those two? No.
Go for it.
For my diarrhea, I do Pepto-Bismol, but if I'm at home, I just keep it going out.
Yeah.
But I can't do Imodium, because if I do Imodium, I won't shit for 5 days. It blocks me up too well.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. And then for constipation, I learned on this show Swiss Chris, which is my favorite, or I'll do a suppository or an enema. I'm I'll shove a lot of things up there. I don't give a crap.
I was constipated as a kid a couple of times. It's not my earliest poopy memory as a kid, but a couple of times, yeah. Probably because I was. I don't know why, actually. Probably just what I'm talking about, even in adulthood, just a little bit of an anxious kid. You know, that's probably the reason why.
I feel like for a lot of people, I feel like for a lot of people, they were constipated more as younger people as opposed to now. Not that it doesn't happen, but I haven't been constipated in so long that it's I can't even remember what that's like. But I use
the pain was like being knives into your sort of stomach. My parents were very upset about this. You know, what the hell's going on with them?
I get more of that if I eat if the food I'm eating is not that great, or or it doesn't react with my stomach that well. So like spicy foods, which I love spicy foods, because I'm getting older. Spicy foods are just tearing me apart. Popcorn is one of my favorite things, and every time I eat popcorn, it just I have to go to the bathroom. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, so you have to poop. Popcorn makes you poop.
Oh yeah.
You're saying, okay, all right. I thought you were saying
it rips me apart. My stomach. It's like an hour or two later, and all of a sudden my stomach's making that grumbling sound, and then in the bathroom. So right away.
That's good.
All three of us were born in the 70s. I feel like 70s, 80s food, there was we were eating a lot of bullshit. So
canned goods, weird kind of preservatives,
Twinkies and Hostess cupcakes.
Yeah,
that shit
could not
be good for our insides.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So
sure. I'm down for stuff coming out, but it's stuff staying in where I have real issues.
Yeah, when they're pushed out. Yeah, I'm with you.
That stuff as well.
Yeah.
Bananas apparently can make you constipated. Too many bananas, and I love bananas, and so I've given up bananas. That's a dark day.
Oh,
bananas for me. Yes.
I'm not a big banana fan. I like it mixed in things, but not as I wouldn't just eat a banana. But
I've heard we had a nutritionalist on once that said the greener the banana, the more likely it'll be to constipate you, and the browner the banana, the more likely it'll help you with it'll get rid of the stuff. So soft banana, soft poo-poo. Hard banana, hard poo-poo.
Okay, that's good to remember. So I can maybe go back on bananas, but make sure they're
browner.
Brown.
I feel like you were teaching some kindergartners to something.
Really simplifying the language.
So I was like, hard banana, hard poo-poo. Everybody's excuse me, teacher lady? What was that banana thing again?
Soft brown banana gives you soft brown poo.
Well, there should be educational songs like this for kids in school, get them started off right.
Totally. Yeah. Then they'd have less constipation problems because they are all anxiety ridden about pooping and farting in public as kids.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. What are your favorite products, Matt, that you like to use to help you poop? It can be anything from supplements, bidet, wipes, matches, room sprays. Nothing.
I like the room spray. It's like it's Mrs. Mayer's.
Oh yeah, that sounds great.
Room spray. Yeah, that's really nice because the bathroom here hasn't got much ventilation. Don't like to leave incense burning. I don't like to leave anything burning if I'm not in the room with it. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
But just a little spray, a couple of squirts of some spray. It's a nice thing to do for other people, right?
Oh, I've been using this totally. That's just crashed this party right there. But I've been using this. Ellen, did you give me this stuff called Jack Cox? Did you give me that stuff?
Oh yeah. I gave it to you.
Yeah. So I've been using that a lot lately, and I really like it.
Oh, you do?
I've been mixing up my what I put in the toilet before I go to the bathroom, if I have time to do it. My wife's like, you have all these fucking products over the toilet, and you never use them. I'm like, look, sometimes I just don't have time to get the stuff out. And I got to go to the bathroom. But as of late, I've been trying to be, make a concerted effort to actually
Jack Cox sent us the product. They're from Australia.
Yeah, Jack Cox, shout out. They're awesome.
Yeah.
It's I gotta say, I mean, granted, I didn't even look at the directions. I just spray 5 or 6 sprays into the bowl, and that seems to work. I mean,
directly into it.
Yeah, before you take a shit.
It's like poopery.
Yeah, it's like poopery, but it's like with a little spray. Or just a drop, which is like a joke.
As we're all kids growing up in the 80s, did they, in this country, I don't know because I didn't grow up here, but did they have, I remember a lot of toilets in the north of England, like in my auntie's house, for example, and other people's houses, other people's families' homes. They would have like a bar of soap in like a little plastic net or cage type thing that they'd hook over the
like a toilet bowl cleaner.
Yeah, so when
it was like a toilet biscuit.
Yeah. It just makes
what they call it, toilet biscuit.
Or like a toilet, it's just like a cleaner, really. Just like it turns all the water blue and everything.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just supposed to clean the toilet.
Yeah.
My grandmother had that.
It would basically be like every time you flush, the water would pass by it and would clean it.
Yeah.
Sure. And
I don't know what happened to toilet biscuits.
They definitely still make them. I'm sure
they have them in men's bathrooms. Some places have them in the urinals, right?
Yeah.
Bars and stuff. But yeah,
That's
not seeing one in a home for a long time.
Men's peepees can be very stinky sometimes.
Yeah,
that's probably why. Yeah.
Lack of hydration and all that beer and stuff. Yeah, no bueno.
That's gross.
Okay, ready, Matt?
Oh God, yeah. Tell me.
Our favorite question.
Oh no. Yeah.
Bristol, number 7, hot diarrhea coming out, fast and furious. Are you going to be like Dave and shit in your pants, or are you going to pull your pants down and go somewhere on the ground? Pants or floor?
Oh, it just depends. It depends, doesn't it? It depends.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
It does.
It literally depends, even if you have depends on.
Exactly. I think, when you gotta go, you gotta go. So just do it, right? If I got time to pull my pants off, yeah, of course I'll pull my pants off.
Yeah, because
if I'm in the street,
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna have to just do it. I'll stand there, walk around. Nobody will know.
Well, that's the next question. Has it happened to you?
Not that I can recall. I think
you've never pooped your pants or pooped somewhere on the ground.
Not that hot, like projectile diarrhea thing that you've just described.
Well, I'm just saying.
You left a log in there. Like, what's going on?
After 43 years, no doo-doo has touched your underwear?
No, of course it has.
All right, then get into it.
I shat my pants, but I can't remember.
Are you going to be like Dave and tell us 2 years later? Come on.
Any specific story? Yeah, I can't remember anything specific. I'm sorry to be so disappointing in that way.
Were you on a date maybe? Or
no, I mean,
performing possibly?
I certainly shat my pants in public, and I remember that feeling of having to walk home or just like that waddle that you have to do because it just feels so
wrong.
It is wrong. And it's like, like when you're doing that walk, it's just mashing all up in there. It's just, you know what I mean? It's like, especially depending how far you got to go. And it's humiliating. it ruins everything.
It's definitely happened. I can't pinpoint a time when it happened the last time, but of course it's happened. Yeah, of course it's happened. And
so the
blessing, if it does happen, is that you're close to home. You know, I mean, I've thrown away underwear, I've thrown away clothes before. I just can't. No, get them in a bin line.
You don't want to be scarred. You don't want a reminder of like of that awful thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you ever like farted or like while you're performing?
And it's been a poop?
No. Just I mean, well,
there's that nice moment when you just do get over like having the shits, you know, and then you do your first dry fart. I think that's a beautiful moment for anyone, isn't it?
Yes.
It's like testing the waters.
Following a bad run.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, have you ever, like, you know, as you're performing as Wilfredo or like any, you know, if you're acting or anything like that, have you ever like
room to fart in Wilfredo's costume? Have you seen that?
I've seen that act.
Wiggle room.
You're all bound up.
I must have done. I must have farted.
I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I've definitely farted like at weird times.
I totally ate chili over the visit with my dad, and anytime I was alone with him, I would totally just like rip a big fart, and he would laugh hysterically.
That is, like there's a part of me that is jealous of your relationship with your father, because I just couldn't I would never do that with my dad.
I'd be like, Dad, listen to this.
Oh my God.
And he'd be like, yay!
So was pooping like an open topic in your home when you were growing up?
With my dad, yes. With my mother, no.
Yeah, probably my mom. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
So, but yeah, it was nice to see him because of the pandemic. I hadn't seen him in 10 months. And so anything to make him laugh. So I would have shit my pants if it would make him laugh.
That's nice. That's love, right?
Yeah, right? He's like, oh.
He used to fart in my face as a baby, so I'm just giving it back to him.
Oh, babies' diapers. That's the other thing. Babies' nappies. Having to change my niece's nappy.
Oh.
This is green poop, you know, that the very small babies produce this like fluorescent.
It's disgusting.
Matter. Yeah.
I mean, all shit's disgusting, but yeah, green, when it's different colors, you're like, oh my God.
It's kind of nice, you know. My dad used to say to me when I was a kid, and you know, parents can obviously be very intuitive, and you know, if there was something wrong with me and I wasn't talking about it, he'd lean over to me and say, you know, you can tell me anything, you know, I'm your dad, you know, I've wiped your ass for you, remember that, you know? Very sweet, just like bring it back to reality.
I love when parents say that shit, because they act as if the way they say that, they almost make it seem like, oh, like they were wiping your ass until you're like a high schooler or something like that. It's like, yeah, you did wipe my ass, but as a baby.
Yeah. When I had absolutely no choice, nobody else was going to do it for me.
If I was 13, it's a different kind of story. I'd be like, hey, we should do this on my own. And he's like, no, I'm your dad.
Who was I talking to the other day that was having a B-day installed in this day and age? Is that how you both feel about B-days?
Oh, we love them.
We have them. You should get one, Matt.
You have one at your home?
Yeah, but they're not like the European like separate thing. Like now they have ones that just like snap onto the back of your toilet, and they're under $100.
They're amazing. It'll change your life. And if you don't want to even deal with that, they got ones that are like little wands, little battery operated wands. You just fill it with water, put it in the back of your toilet, just sit there, and like you can travel with it. You can just like use it to squirt your ass. It's great.
Oh my God! Listen to you two.
If you've been to Thailand, like they have that hose that like it's not even a bidet, but it's a hose so you can hose off your ass. I know people who've like hooked that up to their sink in their bathroom.
So you don't like neither of you use toilet paper. Like you have.
Oh no, to dry off.
To use the hose, right? Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
I use the bidet to clean everything up, and then the TP is just to like, you know, just to dry yourself off, and or you know, catch anything the bidet might have missed. But the bidet is like it's fantastic. You feel more confident.
Yeah, I use toilet paper because I pee sitting down, and I have this vulva that gets wet. So I have to, of course, pat dry in front, but then I have to pat dry in the back after the bidet. So yeah. But I don't use nearly as much toilet paper as some savages out there who dry wipe. My God.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, having the bidet has ruined when I go to visit anybody else's apartment. Not that I'm going to anybody's apartment right now, but, in the past, or even traveling, you're like, where the fuck is this bidet? I was in Paris for almost 2 weeks. No bidets anywhere.
No.
All the places we were staying at.
Rooming in Paris.
I'm like, you motherfuckers invented this shit. Where's my bidet?
So when you did in the old days, in the pre-bidet days, would you wipe from front to back or back to front? Is that a question you got like coming up later? Have I ruined a potential question?
No. That is not one of our main questions. But as a lady, if you wipe any other way than front to back, you're also a savage because you're getting poo-poo into your vagina.
Yeah. Ugh. For sure, yeah. I guess it doesn't matter for us,
Yeah. But before the bidet, I used to use baby wipes, but then I learned, I was a terrible, terrible human being who flushed baby wipes and tampons. I am one of those people who contributed to the fatbergs of New York City. And then through this podcast and through education, I now know I'm a better person. I learned from my mistakes.
When did you stop flushing tampons?
When did I stop?
Yeah.
Only maybe 3-4 years ago.
Oh my God.
I just thought that's where they went.
Ellen's was you're just leaving
she didn't know.
Ellen's leaving a graveyard of tampons. Fucking sewer systems. I feel like I even knew that.
At the very least, I use tampons that don't have the plastic applicator, so I'm not using more plastic. So I did do that. I was a little more mindful that way. But then when I learned about fatbergs, I was like, oh, you're not supposed to flush? I also had this terrible habit of anytime I was in a public bathroom, I'd be chewing gum and I'd just spit my gum into the toilet. You don't do that either.
Oh, you're not allowed to do that? I don't really chew much gum, but that's good to know. I've done that in the past.
The only thing that should be flushed in a toilet is poo, pee, maybe vomit, and toilet paper.
What do you mean maybe vomit? Of course vomit.
Well, yes, but sometimes you don't get the choice of vomiting in the toilet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Vomit just sometimes because vomit's not voluntary like poo and pee is,
I hate puking. I run to the bathroom.
Pee, vomit, and TP. Only things. We should make a ditty about that.
Ellen's like, I put chicken bones down there. Whatever. It's cool.
Oh my God. When Gerald and I first started dating, we'd make fried food. I was like, what do we do with all this oil? He's like, we just dump it down the toilet. Okay, I didn't know. Now I know better.
Holy, it's a wild animal out there. What the
wrong thing.
Jesus
Everything
Christ.
that you should not do, we did.
What was there when you say fried foods? Like what?
Like all the leftover grease.
Or French fries. We made them at home.
You put it in the toilet?
Yes, he would flush it. And then after a couple times, I was like, I don't think this is right.
It's definitely not right. I don't think it's right.
What about
He's like car oil. He's like, I go.
Well, what about old soup or something like that? Or
anything, you can put anything down the sink or in the toilet that's edible because that would have turned into poo-poo anyway.
I have never. Can we stop for a second?
Or a mayonnaise or an old smoothie that you've forgotten about. And
you can totally put that down the sink.
I have
put coffee grinds down the sink. Obviously, composting is better, and now that we can compost in New York.
Yeah.
But old soup you can't compost. That's just disgusting.
I have never thought in a million.
Old soup. I can put the old soup down the loo. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
The sink in the loo. Yeah, it's fine.
I have never thought in a million years to put soup down my toilet. That's never crossed my mind.
But you would dump it down the sink, right?
I don't.
If it's down the loo, I don't have to
If I have liquidy, chunky stuff that I ate or something went bad, I just put it. I take a double bag, a plastic bag, or some kind of we have those recycling bags, those.
Yeah.
I just throw that in there, and then I tie that up, and I put that to the garbage.
It's actually probably better for the environment to flush it or dump it down the sink.
I just can't imagine, like, because even there's like oil or like stuff that's in the food, like noodles
we
and
eat that oil.
I know, but it's in the toilet though. I mean,
that's exactly how I think. Yeah.
No, I get it.
Whatever you eat, you can.
I get it. I'm just like, this belongs like in a thing, not like. But I mean, hey, maybe I'll start dumping my old soup. I mean, I don't really have old soup. This is like the funniest conversation because it's just like blowing my mind all the shit you guys are talking about from the toilets.
I remember now something that happened to me when I was 17 years old in a room share situation. I farted in the bath. And it was poop.
Oh.
It was diarrhea or whatever it was. and it all came to the surface, and I just had to get out of the shit-filled bath, unplug it and rinse it, and it was...
And get back in.
Those little tiny brown...
Oh, God. How old were you?
17. I was nearly 18. Yeah.
Yes, that's old enough. Holy shit, man!
And that was a real struggle to clean that up, you know. Yeah, leisurely bath. Yeah.
And you just were like, I love farting in the bathtub.
We've all farted in the bathtub.
Oh yeah,
it's hilarious.
Not expecting to shit yourself.
Farting in the bathtub is the funniest.
I used to love that as a kid.
Until it's shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know what reminded me of that.
Flushing soup down the toilet.
My brother is almost 4 years younger than me, and my parents would have us bathe together when we were little. But looking back, I was like 6 and he was 2, so it's not that it's kind of a big difference. And I remember him shitting in the tub, and that was the end of the 2-person bathroom.
But was it like a solid stool? Did it come rising up to the surface?
Yes. Yeah. But then I remember this happening, but then a friend of mine was like, no, that was Eddie Murphy. And I was like, yeah, I know it happened to Eddie Murphy. I'm assuming it happened to other people too. But poop sometimes happens in the tub.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, generally, I just shower. I mean, I don't often take baths, really. And I think it's probably related to farting in there.
I can't remember the last time I took a bath.
Pooping, yeah.
But I'm with you on that. Okay, I just shit in the shower.
Any accident or stories, Matt? Do you have anything else? It can even be, it didn't necessarily have to happen to you. It could happen to somebody else, you know?
Oh, I don't know if anybody would appreciate me telling their accident stories on their behalf.
You're like, Stephanie.
You don't need to say names, but we've had people come on and they've been like, I heard this urban legend, or like we had somebody on once that was like, I was at a bar and all of a sudden this old guy came in and a poop came out of their pants, you know, like poop adjacent.
Have you had the Great Dabini on your show yet?
We did.
Yes, we have.
How long ago?
Maybe like a year? It was before pandemic.
Yeah.
Did he talk about his Philly cheese steak?
Oh yeah.
That's why he came up.
I was going to suggest him as a potential guest because I wouldn't have told the story. Only he can tell it.
Yeah. He did tell that story.
Yeah, Minnie Tonka was like, I have the perfect guest for you guys.
So he told Minnie Tonka too. That's so funny.
I think it's a very well-known story at this point.
Yeah.
What's the worst public toilet you've ever seen, pooped in, or been around?
I've pooped in a pig toilet in India.
Wait, what is that?
A pig toilet, and
what is that?
Out in the sticks, out in the away from the town and the city, the Indian countryside. You know, people, you go into a little hut and there's a hole in the ground, and the pigs in the field behind it.
So the pigs eat the poo-poo?
Come and eat your shit, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was called a pig toilet, and I didn't
toilet,
know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Come on, piggy, get it while it's hot. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Get it while it's hot. Oh my God.
Come on, piggy, get it while it's hot.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and I mean, I know, and a lot of my stories are coming out of Asia, but just because it's people poop differently in the East and in the West. I love the squat toilets. I would love to install a squat toilet. I think that's so much better for your body, like the position in which you're squatting in, your intestines. Like when you sit on the loo, do you lean forward when you poop?
And I have a stool.
You have a squatty potty.
You should get a stool.
What? Why? What do you mean a stool?
They have these stools, so it raises up your legs.
Okay,
to your position.
You have one too, David?
Yeah, Ellen got one for my birthday.
One.
Yeah, it's got a nightlight. Oh, the nightlight's broke. It doesn't work anymore.
You got to change the battery.
I really? Yes, of course I know that. I put the new batteries in and the light's not working anymore. So
You
got to put batteries in it.
Matt, my poop it has to be the perfect everything. I need my stool, my bidet, my perfect toilet paper, my sprays. I want a spa-like situation.
And how much time do you need? Like when you gotta go. Do you have to have time because the hemorrhoids and things you have to sit and really? My sister needs time to sit.
No, sitting causes more hemorrhoids, so don't sit. We've had doctors on. You want to get in there, you want it to fall out. You don't want to push, and then you want to get out. Get in and out. So when I got to poop, I got a 5-minute window between the feeling like I have to poop and the shit leaving my body. So if I don't have access to a toilet, we have problems. And then it just falls out of me.
So what if you're out and about? What if you're out?
I shit everywhere. I shit at I'll poop anywhere. I pooped in every chain store you can think of.
And what if they say, no, sorry, sorry, madam.
She's sitting in her pants.
Can't use her.
I'll shit somewhere else.
On the street.
You just hold it. Because sometimes you gotta go,
Agreed.
I mean, that's kind of what's been hard about the start of the summer. Just after, when lockdown started to ease, when we went into that second phase, just suddenly needing the loo and no cafes, no restaurants.
Yeah.
You couldn't go in and use the bathrooms. Public toilets were locked. Like, what the fuck are you meant to do,
Yeah, and then they just made a law. That you're not allowed to shit in the subway. So if people don't choose to shit in the subway. But if you're going to make a law that it's against the law to do so, you have to have an answer to that problem.
Yes, you do. And who's going to police
it's
that?
You don't got to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah. I know. I feel like so many places are really enjoying it's COVID. We can't use our bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck you.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. The other worst public toilet I know that you asked, and I said the pig toilet was kind of it wasn't the worst, but it was the worst. Glastonbury Festival, a big music festival that happens every year.
Oh yeah, I'm aware.
Go ahead this year. Yeah, Glastonbury toilets after day 4. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Then you want to be maybe started thinking about taking the Imodium.
Right. Well, Matt Fraser gave a good tip for festival shitting. You just put a big plastic thing in your tent. You take a dump in that, wrap that all up, and then just put that in the garbage can.
Like a dog.
So you don't have to actually go to use the toilets. That was hilarious. But I was kind of it's probably a better alternative than going to day 4 at a massive festival.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got loads of them.
Who holds the bag? Who holds the bag for him? He just fans out the bag.
Flatten it out.
Shit.
Julie doesn't hold it for him.
I mean, I don't think so.
She would though. If he wanted her to, she would.
She would.
Yeah.
She's a good person.
But she did not answer that question.
Yeah.
Matt, I don't know if you have other stuff that you want to bring to us.
So my dad was passed away in 2003 of all kinds. Well, the cancer was spread to all over his body, really. But the primary cancer was bowel cancer. And we were talking about hemorrhoids earlier on, how I panicked when there was blood in my underwear and on the bed sheets. Naturally, I thought that it was, it was early stages of cancer or something. So I went in and got it looked at straight away, which cost me something like $300. I couldn't believe it. I was outraged for a doctor to look at my ass and charge me $300. 2 minutes. It was my first, encounter of the American healthcare.
Yeah. Welcome to the shit show.
Welcome to America. America.
Welcome to
Sure,
the
and
shit
I
show.
appreciate the NHS much more now than I did. You know, when you grow up with something you don't really appreciate, now I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, NHS is a separate thing entirely. God bless them. But yeah, like we just got to be sensible, and symptoms of bowel cancer is also feeling like you've pooped, but you've not quite finished. Like I could do more. Like
Yeah.
I should have been more that time. I think that's fairly common for a lot of people, depending on their diet. But that's the symptom. I think all kinds of mucus in your stool can also be a sign. I've heard.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously blood. People who eat beetroot. Some people, I'm learning this recently. Some people who eat beetroot find sort of pink or reddish pigment in their stool and have panicked that it's
Oh, yeah. We've heard that.
early stage bowel cancer. That's hereditary. Not everybody has that. When they eat beetroot, not everyone passes the pink stool. Did you know that? You knew that, right?
I only know that because I used to, if I would eat beets, my poop would be bright red. And now these days, not at all.
Why?
I don't know. If I eat beets,
It's
not red
hereditary.
anymore.
She's evolving.
I think when I was on that 9 months of antibiotics from the Lyme disease, my gut reset itself in a different weird way. Like I didn't fart that entire 9 months.
That's crazy. For you,
That
that's
is
nuts.
Before that, I would fart minimum of 50 times a day.
Wow.
And that's not over exaggerating.
Wow.
Hey, doctor's like, we gotta cut this number down to zero.
But I also like how asparagus pee is something that some people can smell and some people can't.
Yes,
Like,
I've heard that too.
Oh, mine
when
reeks.
I was in my 20s, I could eat pounds of asparagus. I did not have asparagus pee. Now I have asparagus pee. My insides, as Dave knows, is a disgusting, foul, fucked up place that nobody can figure out.
It's like a haunted house.
Terrors.
Yeah, house of terror. Oh my
But
god.
you have a good relationship with your body, though, right? You know, I'm at this stage now, 43, where I'm thinking, okay, Matt, maybe it's time, your brain listened to your body instead of the other way around, Because I love to drink and smoke and all kinds of things, I'm a real kind of hedonist, really, and now I'm thinking, okay, my body, can't deal. It takes 3 days. A hangover now takes 3 days,
Oh yeah.
First of all, for your hangover, take milk thistle every day. It'll be much better for you.
Milk thistle, okay.
Yeah, that helps clean out the liver so your hangover won't be so bad. But also, just cut down the booze. But also, going back to butt cancer and talking about blood, the difference we learned, there's blood on the toilet paper when you wipe, that's usually hemorrhoids. But if there's blood in the toilet, like in your poo-poo, then that's where it's more alarming for cancer.
Yeah.
So,
And people are shy, people don't like, this is why this podcast is so good. A lot of people are too shy. They don't want to go to the doctor and are embarrassed to show them their arsehole and all the rest of it and say, hey, And thankfully, we had my dad for such a long time because he wasn't shy about it. He knew that something was very wrong,
Yeah.
but also, a lot of people like me, I am nervous about healthcare. Like you'd even talking about, you saw blood and it cost you $300. I mean, God bless, it sounds like your dad was in the UK. So not only was he not shy, but he had health care that would pay for it,
Sure, yeah.
But also in the United States, it used to be 50 and over that you could get screened for colon cancer, your first colonoscopy. They just passed it as 45. So you're 2 years away, Matt. High five.
Thank you. Thank you.
Get in there.
Oh my god. Get it
And
done.
Dave has passed that point. It's time for him to go.
I've had one.
Especially for the show.
Yeah, I've had one. I got to go back. Well, I have my new insurance kicks in December, so I got to start that whole
Call
thing.
those motherfuckers up.
Yes,
Go to Dr. Fong.
Dr. Fong.
Let's put it on in there.
And I hope that I see this in my lifetime in the States where people don't have to say, well, my insurance begins.
Yeah, I know. It's
when I join this union, I'll be able to have healthcare. When my wife gets that job, we'll be covered.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Disgusting.
It's ridiculous.
Disgusting.
And for those people who are very pro or anti universal healthcare, because people always look at Britain and say, oh, it's free, nothing is free, and it isn't free. It's a myth that the healthcare services that we receive are free in the UK. We paid for it through central taxation. It's not free. Yeah, and it's great because the doctors are accountable when they're held accountable. Yeah. Pharmaceutical companies are held accountable. It's better for everybody. Really.
I have no problem paying a shitload of taxes if I'm getting something like that.
Right.
Yeah. It just makes sense.
But we already are paying a shitload of taxes.
And we're getting nothing.
Yeah.
Just basically the Republicans' way of trying to privatize everything so we can pay less taxes. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Pay your taxes, pay your due.
It's silly.
Get your asshole checked.
Yeah. But it took a Second World War for Britain to set up the NHS, it didn't, and it was the same arguments you hear here all the time. No, it'll never work. Who's going to pay for it? Nothing is free. And
exactly.
Several generations down the line, nobody would dare.
Yeah. Same with Canada.
Dismantling the NHS.
There's tons of conservatives that would never even think about losing universal health care.
Well, but they do try. Conservatives in England try. They try and chip away at it.
Yeah.
Like Mrs. Thatcher's administration privatized eye and dental services, I think. So you've got to be careful. You've got to watch them all the time.
Yeah.
But they're accountable to us. They work.
It's like hawks.
They're spending our money.
But that's also the thing. Every single politician gets free health care through the government.
I want exactly what you have. If I can get that, then we're cool.
Yeah. So fuck off.
Yeah. It's silly.
Maybe the pandemic will be kind of like the catalyst for this finally.
I hope so, because there really needs to be a change.
The same way the Second World War helped us, Because if we can afford to kill people, we can afford to help people,
Exactly.
It's like everything's rickety at this point, and there needs to be some kind of change. So I'm with you on that. I think this is going to actually start. It's might be the unfortunate, but the push that we need to get something really passed that's going to work. And people that just don't want to get on board, fuck them. I have no more patience for that shit anymore. I'm like, you know what? This train's moving. You can get on or not.
Well, a lot of these people are old, past the age of 65, and they're on Social Security. They're on Medicare.
Idiots.
Sure.
They're on. That's called socialism.
Yeah.
The government's already paying for that stuff, so go fuck off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then give up your Medicare and your Social Security, and I'll use that money for
They
my
will
health.
never. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Oh Jesus.
No, but that's the thing.
No, I mean, they have no fucking clue. They just think they just hear socialism, or it's like shut the fuck up, you idiot.
You're already on socialism.
Yeah.
So
every the unions, union, a fire department union, the police department union, they have this incredible stuff that would technically be the military that would be considered socialism. So it's just whatever.
Yeah.
That's why it's difficult to fund the universal system of healthcare, is because so much money is spent on the military too.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons why
we need to there's a whole this house clean that needs to happen in this fucking country, and it's not going to happen anytime soon. But I think this is the seeds.
I want them to release the receipts. I want to know how our government spends our money. I think there should be a database where it shows every single thing that they spend on, and then we get to vote.
Never happen. Not anytime soon.
This is what
yeah.
I would.
Of course, yeah. I mean, that's what it should
dream,
be.
But I'm saying
it doesn't sound actually that radical.
No, there should be transparency, but they go under national security. It's you hear this shit why does this hammer cost $2,000? Because they're funneling it into building a jet or some weird thing that we don't need.
Yeah, exactly.
Space Force.
Exactly.
Anyway,
it's almost like we did a little "Let's Get Shitty."
Kind of. Well, this is not as much as
because you asked Eeyore on your show.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, this is not a political show. This is a show about shitting.
Sure,
and everything shitting adjacent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I say, Unless you have something else you want to add, Matt.
No, I'm just glad you're doing it. It's nice to talk about things that people don't usually, talk about.
Agreed.
And pooping's important, and how we poop, and a good, healthy, balanced diet, and regularity is key. And yeah, I need to think about my shit more. Basically,
yeah, we all should.
Myself more,
Yeah.
So,
agreed.
Yeah, Matt, listen to our episode with Dr. Fong. She was saying the number one causing thing for colon cancer is being backed up. So eating a lot of fibrous food keeps the colon clean. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go into our news segment right now. It's not really, this is more news. Actually, Ellen knows about this. I just didn't, I don't know. I don't remember hearing about this. And I thought it was like the most fascinating story. But I'm going to play our theme song first, and then we're going to get into that. So here we go. Yes, I love our new news intro.
It's a good one.
So this, I don't know who sent this to me or I saw this. There are people were asking like, "Hey, do you know where vanilla extract, vanilla comes from?" Or like, and it comes from, a lot of it comes from beavers' assholes.
Vanilla flavoring.
Vanilla flavoring, sorry. Not vanilla, vanilla flavoring. Be clear.
If you get real vanilla beans, it's like comes
clearly
from a flower.
That doesn't shoot out of a beaver's ass. But yes, beaver, like the flavoring, which I'm going to get into in a second. It's called castoreum. It's a yellowish excretion in these things called castor sacs that are found in mature beavers, both male and female. And these things are mined by companies, and it's used in perfume, food. It's actually used to flavor and odor cigarettes.
This is the stuff from the beavers are?
Yes.
We put the beaver through this. We're killing beavers.
I don't think they're killing them. I mean, there's no. I'm not looking at the actual like. I think it's just like they just like secrete it, and they just take this chemical composition and then turn that into like. Well, it says it's largely used in perfume.
Well, who decided to do this, and who had this idea? Like it's like the Billy Connolly. Billy Connolly's.
Oh yeah.
Who was the first person to get milk from a cow, and what did he think he was doing?
I mean, I don't know, man. It's kind of nuts. But these sacks, this stuff, it goes in Canadian dollars. It's $2 to $5 per ounce.
Oh,
and
that's
it's usually
expensive.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, that was from 2016, so I'm sure it's probably gone up by now. But some classic perfumes incorporating this castor or this castoreum are made by companies you've heard of: Chanel, Givenchy, Lancome. I mean, these people use this stuff in these like creams and like perfumes. And then again, the FDA, US FDA, recognized it as a safe food additive in 1965. So it's a flavor extract that they use in like vanilla, which is kind of crazy.
When you look at the ingredients of a lot of stuff and it says natural flavoring, that natural flavoring might come from a beaver's butthole.
Yeah. It's traditionally used in Sweden for flavoring of a variety of schnapps, commonly referred to as Bahirvolt, or literally beaver shout. I mean,
oh my god!
Yeah, man, I'm just shocked that it's actually in castoreum was also considered for use to contribute to the odor of cigarettes, and medieval beekeepers used it to increase honey production with the bees. So,
that's nice.
I want to know who was sucking on a beaver's butthole and was like, "This would be delicious in vanilla ice cream."
Exactly.
He's like, "This is gonna go with." I mean, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of links for all this stuff like that. I didn't dig that deep into it. I was just more.
And just think about how many times we've had vanilla flavoring everything. How much beaver asshole we have all eaten.
Oh yeah, a ton. I mean, I just made zucchini bread last week. I used
with some beaver asshole.
Yeah, actually no, I used almond extract on that one, but I made cookies the week before that, and that definitely had vanilla flavoring, and not the good kind. It was like,
where are they keeping all these beavers in order to extract this thing?
I actually love beavers, and I kind of don't want to know because it's really depressing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's probably some beaver farm. Someone like, this beaver extract is putting your ass through college. Now get out there and get that castoreum. You ungrateful bastard.
We talked about it on the show. I have an 85-pound pit bull that I have to expel her butt glands all the time. The smell that comes out of my dog's ass is like the mixture of rotten fish and rotten cheese. It is disgusting. Ugh. So to think that like expelling some other animal's asshole and they're like, you know what? This is going to be delicious.
Oh my God, it's so gross. It's so gross. Oh, well, what's that lovely, lovely story? Matt Roper.
Is there more news? That's the news.
That's the news.
One news
story
article.
a week. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't blow our wad, each episode. So we do one. But Matt, thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Where can our listeners find you out there in the world?
Well, I'm on social media at Mr. Matt Roper. Like, don't spell Mr. out, so it's M-R, Matt Roper, the abbreviation of Mr. Matt Roper, and MrMattRoper.com.
Excellent.
And I'm going to think of you both from now on when I'm pooping.
Good.
And especially if I shit myself.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta call us.
Look, if
you're the first ones to know.
My friend Anna in England, I have to tell you, she's. I was walking down the street with her once, and there was this dog that was like, I can't remember what kind of dog it was. It was pooping, and she's, oh, that poor dog, it looks so vulnerable. And I'm like, honey, we all look vulnerable when we're crapping.
Yeah.
Don't we?
It's the worst.
Or me, I'm high-fiving everybody while I'm pooping. Yeah.
Well, if you do shit your pants in the near future, don't forget to call 203-998-5579 and leave a voice message, and we'll play it on the show.
Thank you both.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And happy pooping, everybody, and enjoy your butthole.
Hey Poopy Podcast is brought to you by Perfect 4 Entertainment, produced by Dave and Ellen, with executive producer Stormy Leather, edited by me, Dave.
For more information, go to HeyPoopyPodcast.com for episodes, merch, and more. Follow us on Instagram at HeyPoopyPodcast and Twitter at HeyPoopy. Theme song by Jordan Perlson. Hey Poopy.